learn how to solve and check multi-step equations. Before I continue, let's review the skills we have already covered. Solving one-step equations, simplifying variable expressions. Here's what you're about to do today. Today, the student will be able to solve and check multi-step equations. What are multi-step equations? They're equations that are solved in more than 2 steps. The goal is to find the unknown number, usually given as x, just like in one-step and two-step equations. There are no specific instructions that we need to follow when solving multi-step equations. Math teachers have created a plethora of systematic methods to be able to assist students with solving multi-step equations without the hassle. I'm about to show you an acronym that was introduced to me at a Summer Teacher Institute. So get ready to watch, listen, and learn. Here are some checkpoints to guide you to successfully solve any multi-step equation using the acronym just presented. D stands for don't, the distributive property. C stands for call, combine like terms. M stands for me, move variables to one side of the equal sign. A stands for after, add or subtract constant term. M stands for midnight, multiply or divide using inverse operations. Now we're about to work 2 examples to show how you can successfully use the acronym Don't Call Me After Midnight to be able to solve multi-step equations.
So the first example is, we're going to do number 1. It is 5 times the quantity of x plus 4 equals 5. So we see that we have an equation. We know that we have an equation because there's an equal sign. All right, now, since we have an equation and apparently it's a multi-step equation, we are going to use the acronym Don't Call Me After Midnight. All right. So D stands for the distributive property. And we ask ourselves, can we use the distributive property? Yes, because we see parentheses or grouping symbols. All right, so to begin the problem, we're going to draw our line down the equal sign. And we're going to distribute this positive 5 to the x as well as to the positive 4. So to multiply, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times positive 4 is positive 20. Bring everything else down. Can we distribute on the right side? No. All right, since we're done with distributing, we're going to go to the C, which stands for call or combine like terms. All right, on the left side of the equal signs, we don't have like terms. We have this 5, which has an x, and the positive 20, which is a constant term. And on the right side, all we have is just a constant term, 5. So we're done there. All right. All right, the M, the first M stands for me, which represents moving variables to one side of the equal sign. And as we take a look, we only have one variable, which is this 5x. So that's already taken care of. All right, moving on to the next step, which is A. A stands for add or subtract the constant term. And we mean add or subtract the constant term that is on the same side of the equal sign as the variable. So here the constant term is positive 20. And we're going to move it through using inverse operations. The opposite of positive 20 is, or plus 20, is to subtract 20. And we're going to balance the equation by subtracting 20 from both sides of the equal sign. All right. Inverse operations cancel. Now we're left with 5x equals 5 minus 20 is negative 15. Be mindful of your integer rules. All right. So after the A, we have the next M, and this M stands for midnight, which represents multiply or dividing using inverse operations. Here we have 5 times x, and the opposite of 5 times x, the opposite operation is division. So we will divide both sides of the equal sign by 5. So now we're left with x equals negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. And we know that we're done because our x is isolated. We finally have x by itself. But let's go and check our equation. To check the equation, you'll basically write the original equation again, which is 5 times the quantity of x plus 4 equals 5. And all you'll do is substitute or replace this x variable by the solution that we got from our problem, which is x equals negative 3. So we're going to substitute this x with negative 3. So this will be 5 times the quantity of negative 3 plus 4 equals 5. All right, using our order of operations, our parentheses or grouping symbols comes first. We have negative 3 plus 4, that's positive 1. Then you'll bring everything else down. Now we're left with 5 times 1 is 5 equals 5. When you're left with two numbers or a set of numbers on both sides of the equal sign that they're both the same, then we'll say yes, this equation is true, and this lets us know that negative 3 is our final answer.
Example 2.
The final example is 2 times the quantity of 4f plus 1 minus 2f equals 9f minus 1. So to solve this problem, we're first going to draw the line down the equal sign and write our acronym. Don't call me after midnight. So the first thing we're going to do is check for the distributive property on each side of the equal sign. So on the left side there are parentheses, and I'm going to use this 2 times the quantity of 4f plus 1. We're going to distribute by multiplying. 2 times 4f is 8f. 2 times positive 1 is positive 2. Now we're going to bring everything else down. All right, so the next step is C. This C stands for combining like terms. On the left side of the equal sign, do I have any like terms? Yes, I do. I have 8f and this minus 2f. Now I'm left with 8f minus 2f simplifies to 6f and bring everything else down. All right, here I'm left with 6f plus 2 equals 9f minus 1. So the next step is M. Don't call me. This M stands for moving the variables to one side of the equal sign. So I have 6f and 9f. If we'd like to, we can move the smaller variable to make sure that maybe it'll help get rid of any integer rules or keep down with the negative numbers and all of that. So we're going to this time, and you can do either one, but we're going to remove the smaller variable, which is 6f. And the opposite of 6f is negative 6f, and we're going to put the negative 6f on the other side of the equal sign underneath the 9f, since they're both like terms. Simplify. We're left with 2 equals 9f minus 6f is 3f, and bring everything else down. All right, now A stands for addition or subtraction. We're going to look for the constant term that's on the same side of the variable. So we have 3f minus 1. The constant term is minus 1. So the opposite of minus 1 is to Add 1 to both sides of the equal sign. And now I'm left with 2 plus 1 is 3 equals 3F. All right, now our final step is M, which is to multiply or divide using inverse operations. So since this is 3 times F, we'll divide both sides by 3. Now we're left with F equals 3 divided by 3 is 1. So F equals 1, and that's also the same thing as F equals 1. You can just turn it around. That's our final answer.
Well, there it is. I really hope this lesson helps you to be successful with solving multi step equations. Now we'll gear up to begin practicing our new knowledge. Until then, go be great.